Modern Widows Club. I decided to share my lunch with you. Today is a very special day. It is Giving Tuesday. So, in the United States, this is a day to be generous. And I just wanted to come on and let you know that we got some swag to give away for our donors. Okay. So, this year, if you give any amount at all to MWC, and in fact, I just talked to my daughters and I said, come on, you guys can give $5. The process of actually going over and just actually clicking and then putting in your card, and then the joy of giving to an organization that's that's you've seen help people that you love is tremendous. And so I was like, come on, you're grown-ups, like you're in your 20s. You can go ahead and give $5. If you can afford coffee at Starbucks, you can afford to give $5. Right? Like, don't even give me that excuse. So but I just want to share with you guys, and I'm trying to be able to see your comments because they're so small on here. Um, I might have to put my glasses on. But anyway, make some comments here and I'll respond to them. But I wanted to show you um, what we have. Okay, so if you give any amount, seriously, even $1, and add a few zeros, you're going to get a Modern Widows Club decal. Now, a lot of our ladies actually use these on their computers, or all those places people put stickers. You're going to get one of these Modern Widows Club stickers, which, by the way, was just featured on CBS Sunday Morning Primetime Special. They actually showed this decal, and so you'll get this decal. Okay. And if you become a recurring donor, which we are trying to get up to 50 recurring donors right now. I don't know where we're at, but we want to get 50 recurring donors, and that's recurring however much you want to give. I mean, I'll tell you personally, I give $25. I give $25 recurring to a lot of different nonprofits, but that's what I give personally to my own, because it's an act of that's part of my tithe. That's how I see it. So if you become a recurring donor, which means that you give a amount, any amount, on a monthly basis, we are going to give you one of our Worcester cuffs, one of our leather Worcester cuffs. Okay, so these are really awesome. It says noun, widow sister, and then the word Worcester. Okay, and it's got two little clips, and you snap it. It's very easy to put on. Here, I'll just do it really quickly. I got it. It's leather. You snap it on and you wear it. A lot of our ladies have these cups. So if you become a recurring donor of any amount, you're going to get one of these. Okay. I've got a couple here, right here, just to show you, but they're really, oops, it's upside down. They're really awesome. Worcester's what we call ourselves, Widow Sisters. And we've actually trademarked that name. We have a really great trademark attorney who advised us to, if we're going to start creating original things, we need to trademark it. Okay, so, and here's the deal. Here's the easiest way. Text the word give to 407-602-6868. Okay? If you just do that, it'll send you a little link on your phone, which makes it a lot easier because you just click the link it sends you, and voila, super easy. Now, if you are a 200, because it's Giving Tuesday, if you give more $222, you are going to get our premier Hope He'll Grow box. Now, let me take this out real quick. This box is one of our gift boxes, and let me show you. Oh, well, it's kind of hard to close back up, but it says, Hope He'll Grow. You are loved. And this box opens up and it says, "Welcome, Worcester. We hope this box of good things will encourage and comfort you as you begin your new journey. You are never alone. You will always have your widow sisters." And so in this box is a candle. It has our coffee cup, one day at a time. It's either going to have a coffee cup or it's going to have a wine tumbler, right? Okay, so that's our little wine tumbler. It's got a really beautiful encouragement card in it. It's got some butterfly garden seeds. It's also got some tattoos, some temporary tattoos that says "Still I Rise," and one of them might be "Keep Going." There's a couple of choices that might be in your box, and then we've also got this teal lemonade journal with a Bonner Widows Club pin. So all of this comes in this box um, to you, to thank you for your donation, and to get some swag from MWC. So you get all of that, and I think you get one of these if you donate to over $222. So I hope that you guys will donate today. Um, it's very easy here on the screen. Like I said, all you have to do is text the word give at 407-602-6868. And I just wanted to just talk a little bit about MWC and how far we've come in 10 years. Obviously, they actually started here in my garden actually 10 years ago. I would sit here and invite women into my home, and it really has grown to over 50,000 women around the world, with like nearly 40 communities in 5 different countries. And that's pretty remarkable when you think about such a small idea has turned into completely revolutionizing how widows are researched, how their programs are created, how communities are built, how advocacy is advanced. All of those things that we do every day here at MWC. Um, this morning I did a little talk about some of the books that actually made such a huge difference um, um, in in sort of this journey for me. There's one thing to become widowed and have the experience and work through the grief and go across the bridge and become someone who has experienced a lot of growth. And then there's coming back and talking to tens of thousands of widows and realizing that I wasn't alone, that there are literally millions of women all over the world going through the same thing that I had gone through, but with such extreme isolation and complete misunderstanding. And now what we know is that, widowhood is an all front attack on women's health. That's gone completely unembraced, completely unaddressed. And it really is the last social cause of significance. We sort of fall into the category of domestic violence and human trafficking where people didn't believe women needed anything. Widowhood is very much like that. It's people have this idea, these myths. This is one of the books that really changed my life. Myths versus the realities. And the myths versus realities for widows is too huge of a gap in our society around the world. This woman, Helena Lapata, she actually was a sociologist at Loyola University. And she started writing this book because she was just, as a sociologist, she was researching um, widowhood as a stage of a woman's life. And she became widowed when she was actually writing the book. So this book came out actually in 1997. And when I found this book, I was shocked because honestly, you would have thought that this book was written in 2021 because the current widowhood in 1997 is still the current widowhood situation in 2021. So, got a long ways to go, We got a lot of advocacy to do. This is why, we have a petition on change.org. It's still up. I'm going to be doing an update on that after I get off of this live. But, the book that probably really, really, really drove home to me was this book right here, the World Widows Report. As you can see, I have thoroughly used this book. But what this book showed me was 39 countries have more than 1 million widows. And more than likely, this number has gone up because this is 2015 data because of COVID widows. We know that over 2.5 million new widows was created just because of COVID. That's an estimated number from this year's Commission on the Status of Women at the UN Women event. And for the first time ever, widows were a topic of focus because of COVID, because it's been a widow making machine. More men have died from COVID, and men die sooner than women. We know this. So, the reason why we have 39 languages for our website to be translated into, if you scroll down to the bottom of modernwidowsclub.org and you see that Google Translate feature, well, there's 39 languages there. Why? Because there's 39 countries, and all of these languages need to be represented. All of these women need to be represented around the world for the needs that they have in widowhood. And a lot of people say, well, why do widows need anything? Right? I think after Social Security happened in the 1930s, they thought, well, you're going to get Social Security. There's so much more. One of the things that we talk a lot about here at MWC is the secondary losses. And this is, oh boy, this is an old graphic. But the primary loss is the person. The secondary loss is, what else am I going to lose because of this one person's loss, right? So we actually asked our community, and it's not unusual for a woman to worry about having shelter, having a home, having health insurance. Are their friends and family going to stay in their life? It's their spiritual faith is really stressed. So financial security and loss of a job. Sometimes you can't work. We know that brain fog lasts at least 2 years. We research the widows here at MWC. We're creating our own research because when you can't find research, you research the women in your organization, and then you start creating that. In January, we're going to be in our first medical journal, and we're starting that journey of getting people to understand that this is actually something that has gone neglected for too long. Women and children around the world are suffering because of this lack of attention to widows globally. So in some global South countries, it's a death sentence. When you don't have people who will help you, when you have to abide by certain cultures where legal rape is, you know, is accepted by the people around you, and they don't help widows, they don't come to their defense. I mean, Isaiah 117 is, defend the cause of the widows. Here we are. We're doing it every day. James 1:27, true religion is caring for widows and orphans. Orphans comes first, then widows. We need to continue with the verse to not stop at the orphans, because there's 300 million widows in the world caring for 600 million fatherless kids. If we don't help the moms, we can't help the kids. And so it just kind of makes sense to me, a lot of this. And that's why I'm considered the big widow advocate in this country. When you talk to tens of thousands of widows and you start seeing patterns and you start seeing lack, then you start realizing somebody has to speak up, somebody has to stand up, and somebody has to keep doing that until positive change is created. And that's what we do here. I became a widow. Then I became a mentor, and then a leader, and now I'm an advocate. That's what we do. I'm not stuck in widowhood. In fact, I have found hope, I have found healing, and I have found growth. And when you empower a widow, she empowers other widows. And that's the beautiful part about our organization, is that what didn't exist before was this whole idea of creating community. This is what we do. We create community, right? Widows find a community that they really resonate with. Then they move into becoming leaders and advocates, right? They create, the women who lead these communities rise up. They learn the data, the research, the knowledge, the information, and they share it. And then we start having a movement of widow advocacy. See, widow advocacy was not even a thing. I mean, the widow advocates like Margaret Owen, that mentor me, they've been doing this for 25 years. They know the struggles of being heard, even on the highest levels of like the UN and governments. You know, we know that the struggles are real. It shouldn't be that hard for widows. It just really shouldn't. These are wives of fulfilled marriages. These are mothers, should be honored in our society. They're grandmothers. They're our sisters and our aunts and our nieces and our neighbors and our coworkers. They are everywhere. The United States is the third largest country. We have over 14, 15 million widows. I can't wait for the new numbers to come out for the 2020 census, because we need that data. And 70% of all women will become widowed. So why are we not talking about this? I mean, women are 51% of the world's population. We should be talking about this. We should have massive funding, massive programs for widows, because the world isn't getting getting less widows. It's actually getting more. COVID sort of increased that, unfortunately. And I'm so grateful that we're here for the COVID widows who are finding us now. I mean, I can't imagine. Well, I can imagine, because 21 years ago, when I became widowed, it was what it was like. I got grief, traditional grief therapy for 1 to 2 years, and that was it. That's all there was. And times have changed. Times have changed because widows like me are standing up and speaking out and saying, we need more. We need more. The challenges that widows face are tremendous. And those of you who are watching this video and are widowed, you know what I'm talking about. You do. But part of becoming widowed means that you also have to now educate others with your sharing your story. Days like today, Giving Tuesday, is what that's all about. You know, most people think of widows are gray-haired grandmothers. Well, guess what? 76% of our community here at Modern Widows Club is under the age of 59. 59 is the average age of a widow in this country. In the global south, it's 39. So we have a big topic about widowhood that is rarely ever spoken in places of worship, in governments, in all the leadership systems of the world. And and so we are the mega voice. All of us together have to raise up this data that, this research that we have collected. We just keep sharing all the time, because knowledge, well, what is misunderstood will always be underserved. That's the reality. And so the more we can help everyone really around us, society, our friends and family, to understand, and we can be courageous enough to actually share the real hardships, whether those are mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relational. All of those areas are impacted. So it's the cause of the century, because the amount of widows between 2020 and 2035 that's predicted is it will be a necessity to pay attention to what widows need, because the amount of widows that will be in existence in the year 2035 is a tremendous amount even from today. So we are at the tip of the arrow. We are the pioneers. We are envisioning a completely new future for widows, and to be honest with you, for the next generation. That's what we're creating. Someday, my daughters, your daughters, all of our daughters around the world will find themselves widowed. And when they do, I ask you, where will they go? Where will they go? Where they have programs and outreach and community that has been researched, that has built programs that never existed before. Because when she reaches out, she needs somewhere to grab onto. And we want to be that organization. So we've spent 10 years getting to this point, and what we're going to do in the next 10 years and our ideas to revolutionize how widows are served, heard, cared for, loved, understood is both necessary and audacious. That's really what it comes down to, is that its time has come, and we are inviting you to come in and be a part of that. Like I said, we rely on donations. We rely on donations. We rely on private grants, corporate grants, all of that. But today is the day to text GIVE to 407 602 6868. And like I said, we have all this swag. We have all this swag. We'll send you a little decal if you donate any amount of money. And if you are a recurring donor, we're going to give you one of our Worcester cuffs, our leather cuffs in our teal color. And you can gift this. You can gift this to someone, or you can keep it yourself. And then if you donate over $200, then you get our Hope, Heal, Grow box with all of our fun items in it, to really just comfort widows and just let them know that they are seen and heard. This is one of our little brochures. It kind of shows like where we come in, a pathway forward. Hope, Heal, Grow, Lead. We move from grief to growth. And so Modern Widows Club is, building a bridge to empower widows to thrive. What we don't want is we don't want them to not have a bridge and to fall into the water. That's what happened to me. And so this is why it's personal. It's personal because my own mom became widowed at 52. I became widowed at 37. It's my family is an American story. This is what's happening all over the world. Not talking about it isn't helping. We have to continue to talk about it. We have to learn really the facts of what's going on. And, for all of you who are with places of worship, or, very few churches have widows ministries anymore. This is a great little book called Caring for Widows by Brian Croft. I would highly recommend that you grab this, purchase it. We have some here if you would like. But to grab that book and give it to your faith leaders. Every 70,000 churches actually in the United States should require this reading for every person who is serving in the Christian community. We've given away 100 of those, and we actually got a donation of 100 more to be able to give away. So everywhere I go and speak, this is what they get from me. And so our donations go towards that's advocacy, that's raising knowledge. And so there's, here being there for the moment that a widow reaches out, all the way to going in front of world leaders and saying, hey, what about widows? Why are widows not included in this conversation? about women in general. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope that I see your donations come in, and I would love to answer any of your questions. So if you have some questions, just post it in this video and I'll catch up with you later. But thank you for spending this lunchtime with me. It's been really awesome. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for your support. It means everything.